Well, folks, another Republican senator is learning the hard way that if you're not 100% loyal to Donald Trump, if you don't sing his praises at every opportunity you get, you'll be kicked out of the party. You'll be excommunicated and blocked from any major events that the Republican Party is having. That's the reality for Republican Senator Rand Paul, who made a major announcement today that Donald Trump has taken action against him and his family. He's furious over it, and largely Donald Trump going after him is because Rand Paul has criticized Trump in recent weeks over his big, beautiful bill. Now, I want to play that video of Rand Paul for you, revealing what happened to him and his family at the hands of Donald Trump. But first and foremost, I want to give you some context on the criticisms that Paul has launched at Trump. He said he strongly opposes the big, beautiful bill and opposes raising the debt ceiling, which would be hiked by $4 trillion under the current legislation. Lawmakers have speculated that the increase could cause debt to swell by $30 trillion over the next decade, which is true. He said, quote, "I want to see the tax cuts made permanent, but I also want to see the $5 trillion in new debt removed from the bill. At least 4 of us in the Senate feel this way," he wrote in a early morning post earlier in June on social media platform X. And then, of course, as a result of this criticism of the big, beautiful bill, Donald Trump decided to go after Rand Paul, slamming him on social media. He blasted him after the Kentucky Republican criticized the bill. Paul, a staunch libertarian, said on CNBC's Squawk Box that he's just not open to supporting $5 trillion in debt ceiling increases. And then Trump lashed out soon after, writing on Truth Social that the senator has very little understanding of the budget plan that the president has dubbed the big, beautiful bill. And Trump said that Paul does not grasp the bill, which includes a slew of tax and spending cuts, but is projected to significantly widen the national deficit. He said it will spur tremendous growth, which obviously is not true. He also said he loves voting no about Rand Paul on everything. He thinks it's good politics, but it's not. He also followed up in another post saying he never has any practical or constructive ideas. His ideas are actually crazy, in brackets, losers. The people of Kentucky can't stand him. This is a big growth bill. The people of Kentucky can't stand him, Donald Trump says. And of course, he posted a lot of this on social media. This is the post from him on Truth Social. And that brings us to this moment today. Rand Paul has announced that Donald Trump has taken action against him and his family. He's now been uninvited to the White House picnic tomorrow, which Democrats and Republicans have been invited to. It's a tradition that both members of the party, both Democrats and Republicans, get invited to it, regardless of who's in the White House. And he is furious. Like, he unloaded on Donald Trump in this interview. So let's just take a look at this clip and we'll talk about it.
From my office, and it's kind of a great time of the year in the summer. My family comes up. My son and daughter-in-law and grandson are coming up because we were going to the White House picnic, but I've just been told that I've been uninvited from the picnic. I think I'm the first senator in the history of the United States to be uninvited to the White House picnic. The White House is owned by the taxpayers. We all are members of it. Every Democrat will be invited. Every Republican will be invited, but I will be the only one disallowed to come on the grounds of the White House. I just find this incredibly petty. I mean, I have been, I think, nothing but polite to the president. I have been a intellectual opponent, a public policy opponent, and he's chosen now to uninvite me from the picnic and to say my grandson can't come to the picnic. I just the level of immaturity is beyond words. I've been here long enough that if anybody has ever followed me, I've been a critic of Obama, I've been a critic of Biden, I've been a critic of the previous Trump, but always in I think, a reasonable fashion along policy. And so they've decided they want to declare war on my family and exclude us from the White House. And I just think it's incredibly petty, and I hope someone will ask them some questions about how they've decided to sink to this depth.
Wow, this is breaking news, folks. Donald Trump, petty? Really? No, you can't be. I mean, come on. I mean, the fact that Rand Paul and other Republican senators who have felt the wrath of Donald Trump and MAGA recently when they don't perfectly align with Donald Trump, the fact that they're now just discovering that Donald Trump is a petty man-child stuck in this 78-year-old man's body, this very orange body, the fact that they're just discovering that shows how out of touch they are. Like, if they just looked at Donald Trump's political career and how he does attack anybody that doesn't agree with him, he will cry and claim fraud if something doesn't go his way. He'll do things like that. And now they're only discovering that, yeah, Donald Trump is a petty man child. It's like, it's mind blowing to me that they're just coming to this realization. I think any other American who has watched Donald Trump, whether you're a supporter of him or not, can recognize, like, yeah, this is very on brand. This is very on brand. It's also very on brand for the Republican Party these days, that if, again, you don't align with Donald Trump 100%, they will take any retaliatory action that they can. In this case, it's just something as simple as uninviting you to the picnic, but Rand Paul seems very fired up about it. Let's continue.
What was the explanation given to you?
No explanation. We're just not welcome. But you have to get a ticket, and we've always gotten tickets. I mean, I've been to 10 White House picnics. There's like Easter egg rolls, there's picnics. This is for Congress. And I think what's particularly galling about it is, I don't know if this came from the president on down, let's hope not, but if not, it's coming from his petty staffers who have been running a sort of a paid influencer campaign against me for 2 weeks on Twitter. If you look at my Twitter, it's just gobs and gobs of these people. We know they're being paid because the White House, someone has told us that the White House called them from the White House and offered them money to attack me online. So we have that, and now we're uninvited to the picnic. And it's like, I don't know, it's just incredibly petty, and it shows that, look, I'm arguing from a true belief and worry that our country is mired in debt and getting worse, and they choose to react by uninviting my grandson to the picnic. I don't know, I just think it really makes me lose a lot of respect I once had for Donald Trump.
Wow. I'm happy to hear that he says he has less respect for Donald Trump now than he did before. But again, like, really, like, this is what pushed him over the edge. This is what made him decide, oh, I don't respect Donald Trump anymore. It wasn't the felonies. It wasn't the election denialism. It wasn't the sending the military into American cities to put down protests from Americans who are using their First Amendment right. It wasn't any of the other insane things that Donald Trump has done. It was uninviting him from the picnic that now makes him have less respect for Donald Trump. He also revealed something pretty major there, which is apparently the White House is paying people to attack Republican officials on social media. That's his claim. I don't know if there's actually any evidence to back that up, but that's a pretty major claim to be making about the presidency and the White House. I would like a follow-up on that because that's coming from a Republican senator. But I think this just, once again, I really want to emphasize this point, that if you don't support Donald Trump, again, if you are not 100% in line with him, you will be targeted in any way possible. It can be as something as, I think he's right, and as petty as uninviting him from the picnic at the White House that's taking place tomorrow. It can be something as simple as that. And then they will do whatever it takes to annoy you, frustrate you, make it harder for you, whatever it might be. That's the Trump way. And now Rand Paul seems to be learning the hard way that that's the Trump that we all unfortunately live in, the America that we live in, where he's president, and calling him petty, calling him childish. I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see it. But the fact that he's behaving this way now, only learning these things now, is stunning to me. So anyway, I will leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. I just wanted to bring this to your attention. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about this story. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.